I am joined here in the booth by my friend Mr. Hex. Hex, how's it going?
Pretty good. We're gonna see an interesting rivalry, between these two teams, and hopefully we're in for a nice close game.
And we are also joined here by our silent reporter, Masopes. Mason, do you have a copy?
Yeah, what's up, man? Ready to see this game because if Mississippi State wins, I get an SEC championship bid. So
Yup, as he just said, this game means a lot to Georgia and Ole Miss. If Mississippi State pulls off the upset, that means Ole Miss is out, and Georgia plays Auburn in the SEC championship, who also came off a huge game against Alabama. So let's see if Mississippi State can pull off the upset, or if Jackson could prevail and face Auburn in the championship game. Jackson, ready up. All right, Hex, I want to ask you before we get into this game, who do you have winning this Egg Bowl?
You know, Back when I was the Michigan head coach, I played against Jackson. He's a pretty interesting user. He reminds me a lot of how Dan Campbell plays, and I think, he's a very ballsy kind of guy. He'll go for it whether the analytics say he should just hand the ball off to the other team. He just doesn't do that. So I think he plays a very psychological type of warfare, and I think he'll come out on top. Jackson Dart, hopefully we'll see have a good game.
All right, I'm not going to ask Mason who he wants to win because I know he wants Hail State with the upset. But who I think is going to win, I think Ole Miss will obviously prevail. But if Mississippi State does pull off the upset, props to him. Mississippi State user Hail State has been talking a lot, saying "Ole piss" and a lot of things I can't say because we were demonetized. But yeah, Ole Miss starts with the ball here, taunting in the end zone already. You see the rivalry is just that hot. And hopefully he can stand on business because, you don't want to lose out there taunting in the end zone in the first quarter.
Like I said, it's a very psychological type of game that Jackson Altman likes to play. He did it against me, when he started, against Michigan, so it's very type of warfare he likes to play.
As Bennett with the 3-yard run here, and I was watching the game, I was commentating the game actually, me and Joshua with Florida, and at the Swamp, he was struggling. He was being very aggressive, and it almost bit him in the butt. And that would have given the game to Masopes if he were to lose here, and this game wouldn't even matter because Masopes beat Jackson, right? Yeah, Masopes beat Jackson in the regular season, so
B2A.
he would have had that advantage regardless. But as now it's a 3rd and 4 here, Dart comes out 5 wide, nice and early. Dart backs to throw, zig route, complete,
It gets
incomplete.
hit as he
Big,
goes to catch it.
big stop by that Mississippi State defense, 4th and 4. Hex, what do you do here?
You know, I think it's first quarter. You punt the football, but knowing who Jackson is, what does he do? Does he play psychological warfare as he will come out, in punt formation? And I like this call. It's first quarter. You don't need to be ballsy. You don't need to, do
It's a
something
fake.
stupid. And it's a fake. He's
And
got a
it's
man. Man,
Incomplete.
incomplete. I don't like that call at all. I think you give the ball to Mississippi State in their territory. I just don't like the call. I think it's too ballsy. It almost came back to bite him against, back when I was Michigan. Could come back to bite him here.
That's just the thing. You get a feel. You want to see how Mississippi State is gonna run their offense this close to the end zone. If you stop to a field goal, it's not as bad, but if they score, it'll be a big issue, especially with the fact that Hail State does get the ball coming out of the half, so he will have that jump. As you see, receiver in motion, stopped, 3rd and 7. This is what I'm talking about. If you hold him to a field goal, he may not even make the field goal because of how loud this Ole Miss crowd is here tonight. So if you take that risk and he misses, then there's no harm, no foul. As Van Burden just got to throw, looks like he's getting locked up, throws it, possession catches it. I think he could have racked it. Just a big stop by this Ole Miss defense. Now, I think Hail State will go for it. And no, he's coming out on the field goal. You know, he wants to take his points. He thinks he has the better chance taking his points rather than going for it. As Ole Miss is rocking here today. Kick is up. Kick is
up.
good.
Through the
Hook, line,
uprights.
and sinking.
You know, I like that from, you know, Mississippi State. You don't want to do too much on your first drive. You're in enemy territory. You don't need to go big or go home. You know, take your points when you can get it, especially against, you know, a team that's, you know, shown a lot like Ole Miss. And
as the Thompson in the end zone continues, you know. As we like to limit the chatter here between the players, we don't want a bad word to slip out and cost us the demonetization. So please keep all hateful comments so after the stream. As Dart hands it off to Bennett, a gain of 1. As I do want to mention about the stuff talk, the crap talking, that Jackson called Mississippi State and Hell State a bye week, and you know, that's, if I got called a bye week this late into the season with this much stake on the line, personally I'm not taking that. And right now, 3-0, Hell State staying on business compared to Mr. Altman, but he has a receiver wide open. Wills Jr. on the right side, first down near the 45, I think, if I'm right. Yep, I stand correct. 46. I stand corrected.
you know, just those big name receivers that, you know, Ole Miss has. You know, Dart, who's pretty good at throwing the football. You just got to limit those mistakes if you're him. He's, you know, had a couple of games where he makes a lot of those, but, you know, you just can't have that, especially, you know, being down already. It may not be a huge lead, but making too many mistakes, it can get out of hand quickly.
Absolutely. You have to limit the aggressiveness here if you're Jackson, because you don't want to give up that SEC game to Masopes and possibly miss the playoffs, because I think it weights a lot if you lose to an unranked team like Mississippi State. And I think it could possibly knock them out the playoffs. As you saw earlier, Alabama has no shot at making the SEC championship with the loss to Auburn. Auburn locks your spot into the championship game, possibly the playoffs, but it's now the handoff to Bennett. Inside zone, we know Jackson loves those. Gain of 9, 2nd and 1. Jackson is now in field goal range. As we see the projected CFD bracket, Louisville, the defending champions, are having a bye week, and if Jackson beats Dead Dad, he faces Lamar. And Lamar's a top-tier opponent in this league, so that will be a good game if everything stays the same. Now, goal line formation, 2nd and 1. Mississippi State moving alignment around. QB sneak,
QB
no
just
good.
doesn't get it stopped. You know, trying the good old tush push, thinking, you know, Jackson is an Eagles fan, so he knows that play like the back of his hand, but, you know, just gotta have that front guy, that center who can get down and dirty in the trenches, but, you know, doesn't look like he got dirty there.
All right, so what do you do here? RPO, inside zone, or a little bit of both? What do you do here?
I mean, you don't need something big, you know, look short here. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, and it, you know, looks like he will go short. That's all you need. You don't need to make a big play. You don't need to go 4 verts. Just get your yardage. You know, even if you don't convert, maybe you get 4th and inches, and you can do, you know, a lot of different things there.
As you know, Mr. Watkins called getting the first down after the RPO bubble. Screen pass here by Dart out to Bennett. Spin move. 7 and 2, gain of 8. Now, go ahead.
You know, Ole Miss, you know, they have a really good offensive line. They, you know, they like to pound the rock. They like to get down and dirty, you know, kind of ground war. Okay. You know, they like to, you know, get on the ground, use their legs a little bit, and that's how they, okay. Okay. So, you know, that's how Ole Miss likes to play, but they still have those outside threats that they can go down and deep to when they need to.
Okay, as that's going to be the end of the first quarter here. As it's a 3-0 game, not a lot of scoring. As you see the SEC standings there, Auburn 10-2, 7-1 in the conference. Ole Miss 9-2, 6-1 in the conference. And Georgia 10-2, 6-2 in the conference. Tennessee also does not have a chance at the SEC championship, just in case you guys were wondering. 3-1 here. It's going to be big if Mississippi State gets to stop here.
and just gets it, which, you know, again, it's like I was saying, you don't have to, you know, go big. Get your yardage, you know, if you get a half a yard, you're 4th and inches, and, you know, you can do a lot of different things there, you know. That's all part of how they're going to play.
And if you're Mississippi State, I will probably start changing some things up on defense. You know, just throw something different that he hasn't seen. Play action rollout, Dart running around, throws it away. Questionable decision to come out on the goal line there. That far away from the goal line, you know. But, you know, it's also Jackson. He plays very mysterious psychological warfare, like you said earlier. Now we have 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 2nd down and 10. Watkins in motion. Davies moving around. Watkins in motion again. Trying to find the mismatch. Bennett.
On a route.
1st and goal. If you're Mississippi State, you have to be telling your defense, lock in. You cannot let him score. You need to play with more of aggression, especially since he's a rival, and especially since Masopes slipped a $100 bill to the refs tonight to make sure they get a holding call or offensive pass interference. As
flag.
The flag
there it is!
Left.
And speaking of the $100, and but it's an illegal contact.
Yeah, we didn't pay for that.
I thought it would be a holding call as soon as we mentioned the $100, but I stand corrected. It's illegal contact, so unfortunate.
As you saw with the bracket they showed for a little bit, Boise State, the leader of the Big 12, is holding that bye week. We don't know if it's going to change, given the fact that Auburn won their game, but we do not know, so that bye week can change, so it probably will be Boise State still, and that first round matchup gonna be probably a game for the ages, as we're having little technical difficulties here, but it will be a game for the ages, as Electric Days and Wu Chia can be possibly going head-to-head in a marquee matchup here in the league for the first time ever. 2 top opponents could be going at it head-to-head, as I need to be right back. Hex, you take over, please.
You know, a nice run from Davin Booth. He's a big part of this Mississippi State offense, and you know, Van Buren likes to hand that ball off a lot, and you know, the head coach, that's what he's going to do. It's 2nd and 2, Buren dropping back. He's looking, rolls out to his left, going to go back to the right. He gets sacked. Big Princely puts him on the ground. That's one of your playmakers. You got to start to wonder if, you know, Mississippi State will wonder if they start to make more pass pro adjustments. Anyway, Buren dropping back, 3rd and 20. He's looking. He has no time. He gets hit as he releases. 4th and 20. Mississippi State, they're just, you know, again, it's the 2nd quarter, early in the game. They're going to come out and punt formation, and Hayes will send it back deep. It's going to be roughly around the 40, I mean. Fair catches it. You know, Ole Miss brings out some defensive pressure, and that's Ole Miss is going to have to make adjustments, as Ole Miss will look to come out and score. 1st and 10. They're going to put a man in motion. Tight end, moves to the other side, hands it off. Bentley, he's going to get stuffed, but he gets 4 yards on it. You know, this team is very run heavy. We've seen that early. You know, Mississippi State's had a hard time to stop the run. You know, and I'm going to go to the sideline reporter, Mason. What is the feel on this Ole Miss sideline that we've seen in this first half?
Yeah, I mean, we saw them be really aggressive on the first drive. Now I think they kind of cooled off, kind of just running the offense the way they normally would, and it's paying off for them, obviously. You know, it's 7-3. You got the ball right now. Just drive it down the field. Go put up 7 more points. Put yourself in a much better position to secure an SEC championship bid, secure your playoff hopes. And if you're Mississippi State, I mean, this is your biggest rival, and you can take them out of the SEC championship and probably take them out of the playoffs. So I think, you know, who wants it more? Who wants what more? And obviously, Ole Miss right now is showing that with a 8-yard gain on 1st down.
You know, the challenge flag came off, and I, you know, wasn't paying too much attention, but I think they were challenging the 1st down call, and I believe they got it. So 2nd and 2 here. They're in shotgun. They put a man in motion. Bentley out of the backfield. What's he going to be looking? Dart rolls out to his left. Steps up. He's just going to lob it up to the running back. And it makes a man miss. And he'll get the first and a little bit more. You know, unsure of how the guy missed the tackle. He might get chewed out by his coach on the sideline. You know, this Mississippi State defense, you hate to say it, but they really can't stop a parked car right now. And it's starting to show that Jackson Dart and Bentley have been really exposing this defense. In the second half, you got to wonder if any adjustments will be made. But a fumble, the ball comes out. The offensive lineman picks it up and advances the football. If you're Mississippi State, you have to. You're chewing out your people. You're throwing the clipboard. You know, the tablet's going off into the stands. I mean,
horrible.
You just can't have that happen. You just can't.
As we are back in the booth, we had a delivery order sent to us by Always Joker. I appreciate you, Joshua, for the McDonald's. Hex, if you want some, you let me know. But
I wouldn't want some.
He sent me a 20-piece with fries and a Sprite, so I am surely grateful. As now we're here in a 2-minute warning. Jackson Dart hands it off. Paris Jr., gain of 7. I'm going to turbo here.
And, I mean, this is an interesting goal line formation that I've seen out of Ole Miss. It's not your traditional, 2 people in the backfield. There's 4 people. There's 3, your 3 running backs and then your quarterback. I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah,
what this...
Just one thing I want to point out, guys. So, number one, this formation just could have possibly been stolen from the Georgia head coaches. This is what was ran against him. And we also don't see the Ole Miss coach making the adjustments to chew the clock automatically. It looks like they're going to try to chew the clock the old-fashioned way, and Mississippi State's going to end up calling a timeout, on 2nd and 3.
You just have to wonder, the animosity. Jackson, he's not an Ole Miss fan, but he knows the rivalry. And Parrish tries to get on the outside, just nothing doing. He loses, I believe, 2. Mississippi State will call a timeout. They want the ball back. 3rd and 5. What will Ole Miss do? And it looks like there's, this team has been very, run heavy. That's hard to stop. Dart, 1 man in the backfield, 1 to the left, 3 to the right. What will he do? He's dropping back. He looking, rolls to his left. Does he have something? He just throws it out and gets hit as he released. Might have some CTE after that hit.
What I think here is, I think Jackson is going to get his points. He learned from his mistakes last time. As you can see, a 13-mile-per-hour winds here in Oxford. Maybe that hurricane from Florida still hit them pretty hard as Jackson calls a timeout here.
Calls a timeout, wonder if he, saw something, wants to try something, or if he's just, wants to settle his kicker down knowing the wind is pretty high. And just taking a look at that hit, I mean, that's a nasty hit. As they will go for it on 4th and 5, as will be 2 to the left, 1 tight end, and a receiver to the right. Making some pre-snap adjustments, dropping back, looking, what does he have? He's going to throw it! Touchdown! How did he hold on to the football?
Just crazy how he
he's rocking the baby.
Rocking the egg, maybe.
The egg bowl. You just have to wonder. I mean, I don't see how he held on to the football, as that ball will go through and through the uprights.
We've seen some pretty crazy touchdowns today here. Early in the Alabama-Auburn game with Jacquees Hunter breaking off almost the entire front 7 of Bama to score a touchdown and basically sealing that game. Now we see another running back here catching a ball in the tight window and getting their team the event. Getting the team the advantage here, seeing and hoping they can stop Mississippi State's offense.
I just gotta wonder, Wuchie, is it good? As he throws one over the middle. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that guy's name. But, he's not wearing gloves either, so no drip on that guy, but apparently he can catch
No huddle here for Mississippi State. 5 wide, Ben Burden rushing him back to the line. Ole Miss is pressing.
snaps it, looking, Buren. He's going to roll out to the left. He's going to step up, pocket presence. Is he going to slide? He is. Need to rush the offense. Get these offensive linemen, you know, let them know that the buffet is open. Get them running a little bit, you know. Got to have something. It is going to be 5 wide, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Buren is going to snap it, drops back. He's going to step up. He's going to launch it deep. He's got a man. Almost. Oh, my. He was almost head tops.
I think Caleb was trying to join the Deep Pass Club with Heredia and Shake. You know, both of them happening on the commentator here today, which is, but, you know, just trying to get lucky here. You know, one time out, you got to try something as
Princely.
Edge.
I believe that's who it is. Yep. Princely, however you pronounce his last name, just he's put 2 sacks on that quarterback today, and it could be more.
You know, Princely just edging the tackle and just getting the big stop for Mississippi State.
But he's got a man! He caught it! Then Ole Miss, did he think he dropped it and was just throwing the flag to be throwing a flag? Not sure. Maybe it's the psychological warfare. But the fact he caught that ball, it's insane. Have to wonder.
You know, this is a rivalry. You gotta try harder. Most times you won't really try to go for that ball. Well, you got to. It's an Ole Miss. So you gotta do what you gotta do.
Anyway, Buren dropping back. He's just overthrows it. You know, college rules, get 1 foot down. He doesn't need to overthrow it that much, but he just does. And he tries a little sidearm, looking a little Mahomey, but overdoes it.
You just gotta wonder the accuracy. He was just wide open. That's just a missed opportunity there from Caleb and Mr. Van Burnham Jr. back to throw.
I don't know if it got loose when he got hit or if that was the intended, you know, target. But anyway, Mississippi State will be looking to just take their 3. They get the ball back here, so it's not, you know, bend don't break defense from Ole Miss as the kick is up and through the uprights.
You know, you just gotta wonder if he just didn't miss that touchdown throw. He had it right there. It could have been 6, could have been 7 rather than 3. You know, just a missed opportunity. You get ball at half, hopefully to be able to tie up this football game.
I'll be honest, I low-key thought that fair catch was going to be on the 1 yard line, but looks like the game.
You get it after 25 regardless.
No. News to me.
Apparently we have a commentator that doesn't follow the football rules. You know, I don't wonder. But 3 seconds here for Jackson Altman, the Ole Miss team. What do we do here? You know, how's they playing prevent defense?
Just prevents you from winning the game. You know, as they'll just hand it off to Parrish, and does he have blockers? No, he doesn't. And the Tubby gets on it. You know, just 2 lost footballs for Ole Miss that have magically just gone back into their hands. You have to wonder, but you know, halftime, we're here.
Sure, the Boston Pack, these fries are pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure they're good. I can hear, you know, the chewing and the munching in the box.
Hey man, so even if you're down on the sideline, you want something, you just let me know, man.
We'll throw them up from the broadcast booth.
Yeah, hopefully you just catch them off. Wide open, close.
Yeah, sorry guys, I just took a Burger King cup full of root beer to the face down here. These Ole Miss fans are horrible.
Bunch of animals.
You know, just have to wonder as here comes Mississippi State. Buren, he's got 3 to the right or three to the left, and some little RPO. There's a flag. What's the flag for? Hudson.
You know, just make some pain to refs again. You know, just trying to get them with calls. Never mind.
Never mind. Doesn't matter. Maybe I think maybe Jackson paid the refs a little bit more.
You know, the things you want more calls for by the great Joshua Wright. Appreciate you for the quote. But, you know, just unfortunate. The last 2 times I said that, it's on against Hell State. Maybe just gotta shut up. Receiver in motion. Play action.
He's dropping back. He just continues to drop back. He throws it away and, you know, almost hits our sideline reporter, Mason. He's been almost hit by like 3 balls today.
Pause.
I have to wonder. Okay.
And you know, if you're healthy, you know, you have to read the defense too. You know, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but you know, if the corner's playing a certain way, you gotta adjust to it. Adjust the routes.
But it doesn't
Prince
matter.
just comes off the corner, pause, and he's just, you know,
He's just
touching him.
putting him on the ground, letting him know, telling him that's a sack. He, you know, he's just giving it to him. It's 3rd and 18. What do you do here?
Gotta go for it all. You know, if Jackson's probably playing man, he just, as he does, receivers
Looking,
probably,
but he's just gonna throw
underthrown.
it, and the user just have to wonder.
Mr.
The user.
As we can hear the smack talking from the old Miss sideline. Don't know what that celebration means. I'm a little dumb here. I think it's a narwhal, but Dart
It's a unicorn.
Dart and the Rebels come back on offense. Bennett gets stuffed right at the line. It just lost a 3. As we can see the wear and tear. He's plus minus 17 speed. You gotta take him out the game, give him a break, you know? I know this game means a lot, but don't want to lose him in the playoffs.
You don't give him a break. You know, he's a running back, but
And he's got someone wide open. Mr. Harris, touchdown.
I low-key thought he was about to just set the ball on like the 1-yard line, but you know, you have to wonder at what point does, you know, the guns come out, and you know, what does Mississippi State? They have to answer at one point.
Wait, I'm so sorry. Holy shit. As you see the Marines doing push-ups on the sidelines, and if you're Halster, you just gotta figure out something, you know? You can't let Jackson get another touchdown or more points in general. You just gotta figure something out on offense. You know, defense, I don't know what the play call there was. I think it was a run commit, but you just can't have mistakes like that here in this important Egg Bowl game. As we're gonna get a pause here, we're gonna probably quit. Nope. Not gonna say who's doing, but
No, anyway, Ole Miss has put, you know, B to A on Mississippi State. You know, just have to wonder, you know, Mississippi State has wanted this game all year, and they've shown that they're not prepared. You know, here comes Devon Booth as he gets a gain of 4. I think that's his best run today, which says something. Speaks volumes.
2nd and 6 here for the Mississippi State. Hand off to Booth. Booth was a great run. You know, just improving the run game here. There's a flag that almost dropped. But just improving the run game here. You know, Auburn got carried with Mr. Hunter on the one side. Maybe Booth can step up and carry Hell State on the other. Stretch to the left. Booth
steps up, hits his lineman. As he hits the guy with no gloves, you have to wonder, the guy with no drip, just...
Definitely lost some oral points with that one. But
never seen a receiver not wear gloves. I think it's just a weird thing. As 84, a little bit of motion, play action, looking. Buren rolls to his right, looking. Does he step up? He does. Steps up late. Gets some yards as he's just rolled over.
Formation for Bruin.
You just have to wonder where the manners are. Oh my lord, he's hit and throws the ball at the feet.
As we saw Jackson run cover 2 there, you know, just one, you know, there's a bad play, bad call for a screen, you know, probably could have had a touchdown if it was something else. But now, Jackson could possibly seal this game. 3rd and 6 here for Hail State.
You know, Buren, empty backfield. He's just going to throw it out to the out route. Booth, he gets the first. You know, he's, you know, good in the run game. Can catch them balls. You know. Okay. No. Buren, he's got 2 to the left. He's just going to hand it off to Booth. Booth is coming alive in this 3rd quarter now. We're seeing it.
He's grounded and pounded, showing that he wants it. 1st and 10 for the
Booth, he breaks one! But what is his teammate doing?
You know, teammate just sabotaging. basically just telling them that he's going to transfer to Ole Miss after this game. You know, just trying to self-sabotage.
Just have to wonder. Again, hands it off. Booth, he's going to step up. Does he get it? Yes, he does. Ole Miss, or not Ole Miss, Mississippi State touchdown.
You know, just Booth is putting the team on his back on that drive, you know, from the start to the finish. Now, Ohio State going for 2. Needs this. Wants to get it away early so they have to do it late in the game. Back to throw. Complete.
Gets
2
it.
point is good. 7-point game here in Oxford in the third quarter. 2 minutes left. Mississippi State kicking up the ball. If you're Caleb, you need to get a big stop here on defense to get the ball back and possibly put the ball in David Booth's hands so he can carry you guys back down to the end zone. As we see the taunting continues from Mr. Altman. We're going to need to talk to the committee about this one, you know. Just unsportsmanlike conduct penalties should be getting thrown. But I guess he just paid the refs more. And, you know, just things like this happen.
You know, you just gotta wonder, you know, Mason, you're on the sideline of Mississippi State right now. What is the energy like? You know, every kickoff you see something, you know, for lack of a better term, something stupid that Ole Miss is doing. Is there any animosity that Mississippi State is feeling?
You know, I'm not sure what just happened there. As we have a flag. I mean, is that could be a false start?
Maybe.
But you know, I didn't take off the mortgage on my house for this. You know, I paid these guys a lot of money to get the job done tonight, and it's just not working out for us. There's a lot of money promised in NIL, and you know, if they don't get it, they don't get it, and it's just really unfortunate. As we see Jackson Dart with just somebody wide open, busted coverage,
and he doesn't catch the ball. Have to wonder.
I have never seen that before in my life.
He just decides not to catch the football. Have to wonder.
We paid him good on that play.
Probably just transferring to Mississippi State after this. As I just want to provide an update here. BYU getting upset by Utah. BYU, one of the undefeated teams left in the entire CFB. And if they get upset, they will probably lose that bye week in the CFB. And probably drop fairly low. Probably Colorado would jump them in the Big 12. I'm not too sure. But now let's get back to the real game. 3rd-8. Mr. Allman.
He's going to throw it deep. Bon voyage!
Harris. Incomplete.
Oh. But, you know, have to wonder. Trey Harris.
Now, if you're Ohio State, watch for the fake. You've got to learn your lesson from the first time. You can't let him get it. If he does, this game changes completely. If you're Jackson, how aggressive are you going to be? And then he's got a man
got it!
open.
You know, just have to wonder what the idea behind Mississippi State's defense is. I'm just not sure what's going on. Start, hands it off. But go ahead. Arish only gets a yard. Have to wonder.
I just don't know how you don't learn your lesson from the first time, you know? You saw him go for it earlier. You know he's going to pull it out of his bag again at some point. You always have to stay ready for it. And that time the defense just wasn't ready for it. Dart back to throw. Steps up, breaks the tackle. Gets touched by number 17. And that's a gain of 5. 3rd and 5 here. If you're Mississippi State, you need to force a turnover. Can't let them get into going for it range, 4-down territory. Cannot let that happen. What defense do you run here if you're Caleb Hex?
You know, you just have to wonder. You have to see what the personnel decides to come out, you know, really. And you want to match that, but honestly, you know, it just looks... No, I don't know a lot about defense. If you know my games, they're never really big defensive games. You know, so I just, you know, if they bring 2 receivers, you know, you kind of want to rush people, stack the box a little bit more. If they bring, you know, 3, think about going dime. Anything more than 4, I'm pretty sure you go nickel. Not entirely sure. Could be wrong. Could be. But like I said, I don't know defense. I just throw the ball to Travis Hunter.
That's fair. But if you're Ohio State, you have to come out in a certain formation, play the flats, adjust your corners and play the flats in some capacity, and use in the middle. Dart back to throw.
He's got a man. Got him.
Wide open. Watkins. As we're going to provide another update here Washington State picked off Utah State in the second quarter. That game is 21-7, if you guys were wondering, and put down any parlays for the game if you bet the over or Utah State money line.
No, Ole Miss. They've been, I mean, pretty much Mississippi State can't stop a parked car. You know, it's just the unfortunate news that's really been happening. You know, I mean, they've had opportunities where it's been fourth and 10, 4th and 8, stuff like that. But then they just get beat by not expecting how, you know, the coach of Ole Miss plays. They're not beating themselves, but they're not doing themselves any favors.
That is true. And I want to find out the sideline of Mississippi State Bulldogs and Miss Soaps. How is it feeling down there? And how are the fans? Have you got another Burger King cup thrown at your face? Just need an update on that. Ken?
Yeah, I mean, they just don't like me in Oxford. You know, we 49-14 whenever I was here, and it's just they're not very welcoming when you come back. We see Jackson Dart had a really good game so far. Doesn't need a mistake here in the red zone. He launches it wide open.
Touchdown. Rebels. Bennett with another touchdown here. As now Jackson goes up by 2 possessions in the fourth quarter. If you're Caleb, you gotta start getting worried. Your offense really hasn't been productive other than Booth. As we're gonna launch the cannons here. Hopefully it doesn't go into the top. I mean, hopefully it doesn't go somewhere that's gonna disrupt something. But you have to score. You don't score, you lose this game immediately. Give it to Booth as much as you can, because he wants it more. Jackson, we could tell he's been running man. The corners don't really go into his zone. So if you see that, adjust to it. Like Joker said, adaptability. Adapt to the man coverage.
Gives it to Booth on a
Booth.
sweep. He steps up. He makes one miss. He gets some yards.
That's gonna start this drive now. No huddle. Gotta push it. This is what your linemen. This is what your linemen and your receivers conditioned for. The no huddle offense can't get tired.
Flag, and that's going to be intentional grounding. He is not outside the tackle box.
That's a penalty, especially after that touch motion you got from Booth. Now it moves you back 15. That's just big. As you can see, the penalties this season, Ole Miss has 15, and Mississippi State has 11. But Mississippi State has more yards with the penalties than Ole Miss. But Van Burden back to throw. Screen pass, great play.
Booth makes one miss.
To the block. 3rd and 12.
You know,
Game
now
of
you
10.
have to wonder. I mean, essentially, the game is on the line at this point. You know, 3rd and 12, you're going to be, you know, you can get a couple and make it, 4th and manageable, but game is on the line. This is where, the dogs come to play and the puppies go to the pound. Buren, he had some space to run, but I'm not sure why he just decided to chuck it out of bounds.
Maybe the lights were too bright.
That's what I get for watching a TikTok tutorial on how to pump fake.
You heard it here first. Buren trying to pump fake doesn't matter, but 4th and 12, dropping back, 2-man rush. He's got a man. He tries to throw it and gets hit as he releases. Honestly, I think at this point, game is probably over. Buren, again, the sidearm throw has not worked for him, so I don't know why he's trying to be like Patrick Mahomes. But
listen, we're not gonna glaze Patrick Mahomes on this broadcast. Chiefs are not really doing good. They don't deserve it. Gotta be more like.
Have they lost a game? Have they lost a game?
Okay.
You have to wonder. But here, Parrish gets stuffed, looking like Devin Singletary. Have to wonder.
Stop.
I'm a Giants fan. I can talk trash about Devin Singletary as much as I want. Coming out in what I believe the formation is called Maryland. Have to wonder. It's going to be a play action. And he just gets stuffed. Stuffed like a turkey.
Mississippi State, you got to get at least something out of this game. Got to go for the knees on Jackson Dart, man. Big time rivals. You just want to get a player injured for the playoff run against Auburn that can help him out a little bit. You can't help up myself help out Auburn and injure that QB.
Dart dropping back, continue. He's just gonna step up, throw it, triple coverage, picked off. As Morant, John Morant, didn't know he was on the field. Wow, it's a parade inside my city. Well, there's some life. Jordan Morant, I don't care. His name's John Morant now. But have to wonder, is there life in this Mississippi State team? Is there anything? Are they going to come out, show a little bit of life? Buren dropping back, steps up, and 66 just needs to be benched. I don't think there's any help for that man. I just don't think there's anything for him. Just bench him.
A 2-minute warning.
Yeah.
Just depressing, the fact that you're proving Jackson's point of view, you beat a bike, just confidence just goes down. But at the end, at least you still get a bowl game out of this loss. You go into the bowl game, you go out, you show out, pop out and show people, and he's
gonna throw it up again to Hudson. Almost caught it, but going to Mason. What's it like on the Ole Miss sideline? Are they celebrating? Is there music playing? Like, what's going on down there?
They're about to rush the field against a team that's 6-5.
And
I don't know. The mentality of these fans is just pure brain rot. Really, I mean,
a lot of skipping toilet out here.
Yeah, just horrible.
If they're rushing the field against a 6-5 Mississippi State, their accomplishments are very
voyage.
high. Yeah, that's going to go incomplete. Miss football.
You have to wonder, just what went wrong for Mississippi State. They're going to ask themselves a lot of, that after this game. They circled this game on their schedule and said if there's anyone we want to beat, it's them, as they call a timeout. Just have to wonder.
I'm also going to need Mason Pope to confirm, is Dylan Kirk in attendance or has he left? I need to know immediately, just for security purposes, because we do not want Dylan Kirk getting affected in this Ole Miss crowd.
Yeah, he's already left the building. The Florida head coach, he's got a lot to worry about. Missing the playoffs and just being a bottom tier SEC user this season. So, Dylan Kirk, if you are out there and you can hear me, you need to get yourself together.
I didn't want someone getting affected by this Miss crowd that's going to take a knee for one last time, and that's going to do it. I mean, not yet. I think Jackson goes for a field goal here just to rub it in a little bit. But, yeah, 14-point win by Ole Miss and the Ole Miss Rebels, showing out. They will meet Auburn for the SEC championship next week, which will be a big game because that decides if they probably get a bye week or they dance with the devil. Electric days, and that's going to do it. As the fans start rushing the field, I think I see one with a poster with a picture of Caleb. The committee's not gonna like that.
As Mason is out there crowd surfing,
Don't know what the Georgia Bulldogs head coach is doing down there, but he got a Burger King cup thrown at him. I think he's gonna jump him after this game. I think this police officer's looking for him. Hopefully he's safe down there. We're safe up here regardless, but just a game that was played with a lot of stake, and Ole Miss prevails to face Auburn in the championship. As we're gonna interview the home team's coach first, Mr. Altman. Do you have a copy?
Yeah.
All right, Jackson. I know this game meant a lot to you. How does it feel to walk out of here winning the Egg Bowl and having the higher up, and just having your foot in the door against Hail State? Hail State was talking trash, you were too, but now since you talk trash and you backed it up, how does it feel to be above him after this game?
I mean, it just feels like a regular day. We came in here, we knew it's just gonna be something late. Like I said, bye week.
Okay. Hopefully we don't get a fight between the coaches here. But Hex, any questions for Jackson Altman?
Now, if I believe I heard this correct, that you are now on your way to the SEC championship. You know, what's the mentality going to that game? I believe you play Auburn going into that game. So, you know, what's the mindset going there? You know,
Just try and come out of there with a win. I mean, as the head coach of Syracuse last season, Auburn coach probably gonna have some fear in his eyes after what we did to him.
you know.
All right. Ms. Oaks, any questions from the sideline, or are you still crowd surfing down there?
I mean,
I think-
I think Hail State played a good game, 6-6. We got to focus on next season, right? As far as you two, you know, you're gonna play each other in the conference championship. Personally, I should be there because I feel like I'm better than both of you. I showed that at Ole
Really?
Miss, and I just kind of gave up a game to you at home. So, but either way, win or lose, I hope I see either one of you in playoffs because again, I've got your number, and yeah, I mean, either way, I'm gonna get one of you guys in the first round, probably whoever loses, and maybe I'll get both of you. So.
All right. As we can see, they took down the goalpost down here in Oxford. You know, just these animals, crazy. The school's not gonna be too happy about that. And let's go on and interview the Mississippi State head coach here. Caleb, do we have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, Caleb. You know, just a lot of intensity heading to this game. You know, both of you guys, a lot of shit talking. You know, how do you feel after losing this game, knowing you tried your best to upset Ole Miss and to get Georgia into that SEC game?
Well, I think he'll sit in his booth and he'll do his internet trolling because he's fighting for clicks and I'm fighting to build a program. But a little bit more than a bye week
22-21.
on his hands. 2-touchdown game. I wish that the booth wasn't trying to get clicks too by saying it was a blowout. But you know, credit where credit's due. Jackson's actually a loss on my schedule that I know probably should have been a loss. It's not one of those 17-14 losses that we took that we should have won, but 6-6 with this schedule, I know most of the users in this league would go 2-10 with, is pretty good. So we'll pack it up and we'll get ready for the bowl game, and we'll get ready for next season for when these dirty damn Rebels come to Starkville. We're going to take the sit back.
All right, you know, just a lot of positive emotions after the game. You know, we expected, you know, just some salty emotions, but you know, happy that you're positive, happy that you're looking forward onto this bowl game. You know, just laying it out there for the kids, man. Just all around good mood. Hex, any questions for him?
You know, I'm gonna kind of go along the lines. You said, you know, you're gonna prepare for a bowl game, but you know, what's the mindset going in there? How are you gonna prepare? You know, depending on who you face, you know, how is that gonna affect you? You know, this, you know, it's a rivalry loss. You don't want to lose. Is that gonna have any effect on you also?
No, you know, I do think that the cracks in the Ole Miss Rebels showed here today. They showed when George put belt to ass on this very field 2 weeks ago.
Whoa.
So he's got bigger problems to worry about. So I'm just going to enjoy my nice little vacation. I'm going to sip on my martini. I'm going to thankfully have no more phone calls about that Notre Dame job because it finally got filled. I know that this random dude named Joshua was always blowing up my phone about it, but glad that job got filled so he can shut up about it. And we can just focus on building the kids, building the recruiting class, and moving on to next year.
All right, and one more question before we let you go here. Who are you rooting for the playoffs? You know, if Auburn does end up beating Ole Miss, or Ole Miss does end up beating Auburn, what teams are you looking forward to beat Ole Miss?
Well, next week is War Damn Go to Hell Ole Miss, but as always. But you know, we'll see. I think that the Iron Bowl being a close call today as well just shows that both of these teams have issues. And you know, I knew that the Georgia coach was going to speak up on it, the fact that he believes he should be in it. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think right now, if you're looking at it, Georgia's the hottest team in the nation. So I really do think if he was in it, he'd win it, but that's just not the world we live in. So, I mean, I look for Georgia to do well. I kept betting against this Yankee coach to lose in the playoffs last year, and he made it all the way to championship. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he does that again. But I've no predictions. We're just focused on what we can control down here in Start Vegas.
All right, we're gonna let you go here, and unless Mason has another question for you, which I don't think he does. Mason, you have a question for Caleb? Nope, that's it. All right. So we're gonna let you go here, Caleb. Nice talking to you. But as from the booth, just crazy game, and I don't know what Jackson's doing, but coming from me, Lucia, my partner in the booth, Mr. Hacks, our sound reporter who got hit with a Burger King cup, Miss Soaps. We thank you all for tuning in to this game, to the Egg Bowl, and we hope that you have a very, very great night.